Welcome to Lesson 5 of Blogging for Badasses, our content marketing course for blogging. This one's called Getting a Blog Set Up. Now that you know what a blog can do for marketing efforts, chances are getting one set up is sounding very appealing to you right about now. The process involved in establishing a branding blog is pretty straightforward. It does require a little bit of technical savvy, but in most cases, individuals can launch their own blogs without too much effort. It's also possible to hire professional programmers, designers, and writers to launch a blog and create its format. This option is often selected by companies that are after a 100% professional-looking presentation. Don't worry, though, you do not technically have to hire pros to get the job done right. Most blogging programs available on the internet will walk you through their own distinct process for creating a blog. Just follow the instructions carefully and you can be online in no time. Basically, anybody who does blog software tries to make it as easy as possible to get people onboarded because they make all their money on the back end. We don't really care about most of that stuff. This chapter, this lesson is general information, in case you care about blog stuff. If you're actually in the Pickup Daily or PSU network, your blog's already been set up. I set it up on the back end on the cloud server by me and the technical team at PSU/Pickup Daily. If you need your login info to your website, email me, duke@dukedelate.com, or send me a message over WhatsApp or Skype or whatever, because I've already done all the dirty work for this stuff. So you can listen through the end of this lesson just to kind of hear the information. It'll only take about 5 minutes or so, but you've already got all this stuff set up. So skip on to the next one if you are in a hurry. As you work on setting up your blog, you will have to make a number of decisions along the way. The first will involve selecting the program to go with for hosting the blog itself. Now, I wrote this here. Just use WordPress. Fucking use WordPress. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Use WordPress. Anyways, blog programs do vary, but most provide the basic tools you need for writing and editing your posts and publishing them online. In most cases, blog programs will also host your pages on the internet if you do not already have a website in which to include the blog presentation. Should you have a website in place, you can add the blog as a plugin or use your own website address to direct readers to your pages. This means you'll use the blog program to write and format your posts, but they will technically publish directly to your existing website. Fuck that idea. Just use WordPress. If you don't already have a damn good reason you're not using WordPress, use fucking WordPress. For the love of everything that's pure and holy, use WordPress. There's common programming options. Okay, so there are a number of different programs available on the internet that enable people to easily and automatically set up their own blogs. These programs are typically offered for free or at a low-cost charge. Low-cost charge. I need to rewrite that. Anyways, the technical savvy behind these programs is so high, in fact, that many professional programmers use them instead of reinventing the wheel when a customer wants a blog built into a company website. I've been in web for 20 fucking years, and using WordPress along with Thrive Themes or Divi is probably the fastest way to create websites for me, and I love it. So, WordPress. Some of the more common blogging programs available include WordPress. Oh, look. It's already installed on your PSU or Pickup Daily site, and it's located also at WordPress.org. So if you're normal, like Joe Schmo, you can actually go to WordPress.org, and it's already set up on their cloud server there. So it's super free to start. It's pretty awesome. It's an independent blogging program offered free of charge. It offers a lot of bells and whistles that other programs may not, and it does adapt to enable users to fully customize their blog appearance. Yeah, you could theme it in a number of different ways, and it's the best blogging platform on the internet. Done, hands down. Like Blogger, yeah, Blogger it just got bought by Google, and they're in a little flux right now, so don't use Blogger, use WordPress. But WordPress works extremely well as a back-end program included in the makeup of the professional site. The flexibility of this particular program, WordPress, has made it very popular with the pros. This is the blogging tool used by basically everybody. Like 73% of blogs, I think was the last number I heard, are run by WordPress. The internet is backed on WordPress. There's a bunch of other types of blogging platforms, but unless you have a really damn good reason, like you're an author of one of these blogging platforms, like a programmer, Fucking don't. So just don't. Just use WordPress. Some companies make their website and design programs specifically to support Blogger WordPress. Others provide their users with different programs, which offer similar functions. Don't use them. Use WordPress. I'm telling you, use WordPress. Getting a web address for your blog. Okay, PSU or Pickup Daily folks don't need this either. Call me, email me at duke@dukedelay.com, and I'll set it all up for you. Me or one of the guys in the technical team, because a lot of this stuff's a little bit technically hairy and it's difficult to do on your own. Once you get kind of acclimated to our cloud server, then you will, it'll be really easy. The rest of you who aren't in Pickup or the rest of you who aren't PSU or Pickup Daily guys, you can get a domain wherever you want, in a hosting provider wherever you want. I use GoDaddy still for both domains and hosting providers, but you can go to Namecheap for domain names, and you can go Bluehost. Bluehost is really, really good, and they're kind of on the same shared cloud servers as GoDaddy is, but they have a lot of times more competitive pricing. Once a blogging program is selected, a home must be created for it on the internet. There are two major options here. They are using an assigned name from a blogging program. Like if you go to WordPress.com, they'll assign you a URL at no cost. You can use Tumblr or WordPress.com, and they'll be like, dukedelate.tumblr.com, and they'll give you a name already. It's a great way to get started with a trial blog, but it does have some disadvantages. The URLs of those blogs are completely housed within the blogging program servers, and they tend to be pretty long, so it's hard to put them on business cards and shit. You can make it very difficult for readers to find your blog again, and it's super bad for your branding efforts. It's better to have a domain like dukedelate.com so that they can come back to it time and time again. Creating your own website to host the blog. This is what we're doing here at Pickup Daily. This is a more time-consuming option, but it does provide a way for you to have your blog reside on a URL of your choosing. In this case, you would create your own website and use the blog as a plugin on it. We already created that for you. So just hit me up if you don't have login access to it, and skip over to the Blogging 202 course, because that'll get into a lot more of the technical things for blogging. Most web hosting companies can walk you through the necessary steps to make it happen. When this option is exercised, your URL may be www.yourcompanyname.com. The advantage is shorter, easier to remember address for readers to find. This also lends itself much better to other branding and marketing experts. Basically, a cleaner, shorter website address is simply easier for people to remember, and it can be particularly beneficial if the brand name is used in the address. It's just one more way to get your brand name out to the public. Selecting a program to use, fucking use WordPress, and where to house your blog, use our Pickup Daily cloud servers, but GoDaddy and Bluehost are cool. It's only the first part of the job. To be able to publish a blog for branding, you are going to have to build a website. Again, you can choose to do the job yourself. Fuck that. Or you can hire a firm to do the work. I've done most of the heavy lifting on the back end of the cloud server. There's other tutorials here in PSU/Pickup Daily for badasses courses that are going to show you how to build your web pages pretty effortlessly with a bunch of advanced tools that we put into the back end of these websites. So let's look at both the options more closely anyway, just in case you care. 1, doing it yourself. So, like I said, PSU and Pickup Daily peeps are provided a rich set of tools in the Pickup Daily corporate cloud servers. So none of this shit applies to you. You'll be assisted in creating your own sales pages, etc. through Thrive Content Architect, which is a topic of a whole different training course. I got a whole course on how to make your sales pages and stuff. So don't worry about all of this like hiring programmers bullshit. But if the above doesn't apply to you and you decide to create your own blog or website, you can. Today's web hosting and blog hosting companies have made it very, very easy for beginners to create their own sites from the ground up. GoDaddy has a super fast site builder, like Tumblr. I mean, there's a million different ways to do this stuff, but I set it up so it's super, super easy. Many offer their own easy-to-use design programs that take care of all the technical programming, like Squarespace or Wix. All you have to do is follow the instructions, get a template, and then they will build and launch your blog for you. The basic steps involved in building a blog yourself include selecting the hosting company, deciding whether to write a freestanding blog or include it as a separate website, picking the URL, following the instructions offered to build the blog and possibly the website, and populating the blog with some starting content, and publishing. Mapping out, building, and populating a blog without any professional assistance is a cost-effective way to go. It can be done even by those with minimal technical savvy thanks to the intuitiveness of many of the programs available for use. There are, however, some advantages to calling in pros to assist with the launch. Hiring a pro. If the idea of planning out, designing, and publishing a blog meant to help brand your products or services overwhelms you, relax. There are professionals who deal specifically with the creation of blogs. I'm one of them. So hit me up first before you go out hiring people. Some of the options out there to help you include full service companies. There are companies that are available to you that you can build a website and blog for you for your specifications. They can also assist with optimizing a blog for the search engines and may also work with you to map out a plan for your content. Full service companies tend to have designers, programmers, and writers on staff or available to put professional projects together with expediency and skill. Second pro you could go to is a design firm. If you don't need or want help with the writing, but you want a professional presentation, a web design company can help you on the technical and visual aspects. Third, writers. If you don't need assistance with actually building your branding blog, but you want to help with writing, then there are professionals who can assist. Professional writers can help you populate your blog with search engine optimized posts relevant to your niche. This is an option not only for establishing your blog, but also for maintaining it down the road. Like I said, we have a staff writer. You can hire him, Chris at pickupdaily.net, and he will be happy to write your shit for you. But he charges $35 an hour. So just make sure you keep the costs in mind and what value you're really going to get out of saving time not writing a blog post. Hiring professionals to produce a new blog and supporting website can be costly undertaking depending on who is hired. If reputable professionals are called in, however, there are some advantages that cannot be disputed. When experienced pros work with you to create a branding blog, chances are you will enjoy a more visually appealing blog, which can be important for gaining repeat traffic, better positioning with the search engines, and more functional features and add-ins that can make your blog and or website more and more user-friendly. We're going to go over a lot of that stuff with Thrive. Tips for hiring pros. There are some incredible professionals available to work on blogs and websites. Unfortunately, not all pros or companies they work for deliver what customers would like. To increase your odds of hiring the best, it is important to do a little research before making a decision on whom to go with. Some of these things to consider when hiring include pricing. Do they have a target budget in mind when hiring a firm? Or do you have a target budget in mind? Because if you keep in mind what you want them to do when you set your budget, then you only need if you only need a few starter posts from a writer, your budget doesn't have to be large. Should you require a complete design job, programming and writing, plan on spending a fair amount of money, like in the thousands. So, skilled professionals will generally cost you a premium rate, while budget pros are out there, like cheap Indian dudes on Fiverr. Be careful when cutting corners if you're truly trying to create a professional presentation. A lot of these guys will show you stuff that looks really great to you because you're not used to design, but you won't be fooling anybody if you let them take over that part. Another thing looking in hiring pros is experience. Ideally, you want pros that have been in the business for a while and are very, very experienced with a variety of design and blogging programs. Pay attention to the resumes here and look for companies or individuals who really know their stuff. Reputation. There are pros that promise the moon and stars and then fail to deliver. Look into reputations and go with those who have customers that truly praise their work. Also pay attention to previous jobs performed to find professionals who have the kind of style you're after. If a pro has built 100 blogs and you only like the looks and functionality of 2 of them, chances are that's not the pro for you. Whether you hire a pro or go it alone, building the blog is only the first step in using this tool for your branding advantage. The message and the overall theme of your blog will also impact your efforts greatly. You need to have a solid understanding of your target audience. You will also need to map out the content plan to guide yourself as you start to populate your blog with posts. If branding is truly your aim, then you want to make sure your content supports your mission and that casts your brand in a positive light.